Okay, welcome to the EdPuzzle tutorial. First things first, you need to go to edpuzzle.com and sign up to be a user. I've already created an account, so I will click on login, but make sure you click that you are a teacher. And even when you log in, it's going to still ask you. So I'm going to click on my teacher. My credentials are logged in, so I'm using one from my other email. And you'll be taken to the content and homepage. Your homepage may look actually like this, and it's just important to see what this whole homepage looks like. So you have your content, you have your grade book, and you'll see later on how you can add your class. And you'll have your classes as well, where you can create, students create their own profile, or you can import it. As you can see, this works very well with Google Classroom, so if your school is Google infused, then that's great. But you don't have to have Google Classroom. I'll show you what I will do because I'll be using this on a website. And I also could use a link for Microsoft Teams if I needed to as well. You have your curriculum. So if you want to see, there's actually curriculum already made with elementary, middle school, and high school. And also just the different things that I was doing for the school. Of course, I can see all my other colleagues from here as well. And then you have your content, so the things you would do. So I created earlier folders, and the way I did that was by going by where it says Add Content. And here, when you click Add Content, you can create a video, upload a video, create student projects, and new folders. I have new folders because as a 6th grade teacher, I know that I have ELA, math. I have my innovation station because that's my current job right now, but if I were to need videos, I would go to look for that on different areas and avenues. So EdPuzzle has a connection. They have their own videos that they have available. They're connected to YouTube, Khan Academy, National Geographic, TED Talks, and then these other resources that are out there. And you can see that I've gone around and played with a few things. But let's just say you're looking for like a ratios and proportions video. You go ahead and type in ratios and proportions, click search, and you'll have options that are here, but I honestly don't suggest them unless you're comfortable with Khan Academy or any other videos that are out there. The reason why is because the search engine, sometimes it's limited. However, if you go to, like I have my video ready to go here. I have my video that I made right after we had the shutdown back in March. So this was actually a morning routine, so those are the you that are 6th grade teachers and that have been to the Innovation Station will know that we go through a strength finding type of activity morning called the RIASEC, so where students find their strengths, interests, and values. And it's they write it down on a whiteboard, and I explain that. And I explain that in this lesson right here. The only thing is, there's no time for students to wait, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So time for students to gather materials and time to think and process. So let's go ahead and start, and I will grab the video link right here, and I will paste it where it says search for content. So where it says search content, I paste it, and I'll click search. And now my video is pasted in here, and it'll play, and you can see the videos playing and whatnot. And let me show you the 3 options you get to do with the video. So you're not going to use all of them unless you feel comfortable. So the first one is cut, and you can see it's highlighted. And I'll read the definition, what it says down here, but it says, why cut a video? You save time by cutting any sections from the video that are not relevant for your students. So if you found a video on YouTube or Khan Academy or Learn Zillion or whatever resource you use, and you're not comfortable or you don't want to use all 10 minutes, you only want to use 3 minutes, 2 minutes, you can totally do that. You just have to edit it using the software provided by EdPuzzle here. After that, all you have to do is just cut the video, add a cut. I'm not going to cut this video because I'm actually using this for the purposes of the Innovation Station and the morning experiences of the lessons that I'm teaching all the 6th graders. So the next part is voiceover. This may work, voiceover, if the video is connected. As you can see right here, it's blocked to comply with YouTube's terms of services. You need to upload your own video to record a voiceover. So I could actually do that, but I want to keep the YouTube link on there. But again, there's ways around that, but it's challenging. You start getting the copyright laws, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, that looks like it's not going to be an option. Even if you paid for it, it still wouldn't be an option because there's just laws that protect creative usage licenses for different things. The part that I'm going to use a lot, and the part that I would recommend that you as teachers use as well, is going to be these questions. And you're going to see there's 3 different types. You have multiple choice questions. The beauty about this is that these are graded automatically, very much like an online quiz, or if you've used EdPuzzle before or Kahoot, you have your multiple choice, and as soon as a student answers it, you either get it right or wrong. And you can add answer choices and include feedback as well. As you can see, you also have open-ended questions, which is what I will actually be using. This one's the one where you want students to critically think, type, explain something. This would be great for ELA as far as writing. I would definitely use this. When it comes to EdPuzzle and Flipgrid, EdPuzzle would be the type of collection of writing when it comes to having a journal prompt, or what do you think about this video? What's your response to this? If you do a video where you're reading out loud and you upload it to EdPuzzle and you ask questions, so just in case if it's primary teachers watching this, if you were to upload a video of yourself reading a story and you want to gather thoughts of students in between, I mean, if you were doing this in the classroom, you probably could do 4 or 5 students at the most and then continue on with the story. The beauty about this now is that every single one of your students needs to reply in order to move forward. Every student needs to reply in order to continue on. So you get you have more options of actually getting and grasping what your students are learning and listening. So talk about equity. And the next part is notes. You can write a comment, add a note, make instructions, and make things as clear as possible. You want your students to understand a lesson, all right? And I'm just pretty much explaining what they have here for these little tools. The more you add notes, the information you give your students attention, and you're personalizing whatever video you find on YouTube or lesson for your class specifically. Okay, so let's go ahead and start, and I will show you how I'm going to add some notes to this.
Hi, my name is Chris Garcia. I am excited to talk to you about what is called the RIASEC. The RIASEC was an exam that was developed by John Holland. What he wanted to do.
All right, so I'm going to fast forward it because I know where I talk a little bit. So right there.
I need a sheet of paper, and a marker, or a pencil.
All right, I'm going to pause it right there because I'm going to add a note. And I'm going to put on my note, pause the video, and grab a notebook or a sheet of paper along with a pen or pencil. Once you've gathered your materials, click on continue. And I'm going to save that. I'm going to do one more. Well, actually, now you see it right there. So the note's ready to go. I put it out 40 seconds and it's at 39. And the students will see this. And you see the video, it's scrolling and it's paused right there because I put a marker there. And it will not move forward until I click continue. So the students can't just play a video in the background and have no accountability anymore. They have to click continue.
So as you get that, I want you to go ahead and write down the letters RIASENC, and then draw the lines right underneath. That way you have a total of 6 different columns for your RIASEC board. Okay?
All right, so then right there I'm going to stop and click and add another note and explain to the students to please write the following letters in rows. R, I, A, S, E, and C. And then, I want them to be specific. Make sure there are lines to separate them. Once you are finished, click continue to move forward.
Okay.
And there you go. See, the students cannot move forward until they click continue.
Now, we're going to play a total of 6 different videos. These videos are going to have power verbs and adjectives and descriptions that are going to describe each one of these characteristics. I'm going to need you to practice what's called active listening. So I want you.
So I would encourage you, it depends on which grade level, and you know your students best when it comes to how many of these notes or pauses you have, because the reality is that it can get kind of annoying if there's too much, but then if there's too little, then how are we gathering that information? So I am going to fast forward it just a little bit so I can show you the remaining parts of this.
Or landscaping.
At least 3 words. So watch.
And often want their work to be hands-on.
So keep watching this, and then I'm going to explain what I'm going to be doing afterwards, because I continue teaching the lesson.
At this point, you should have written down at least 3 words. Now,
so before moving forward, be sure to have at least 3 adjectives, verbs, or any other word that you felt describe your personality or character. Thank God for Grammarly, right? So before moving forward, be sure to have at least 3 adjectives, verbs, or any other word that you felt described your personality or character. All right. And then again, you want to be consistent. So once you are finished, please click continue. And there you go. They click continue. So I'm not going to do this entire video. I mean, I will on my own time because I need to finish it. But I wanted to give you guys a synopsis of how this would look like. So now let's go to the finished part. So let's just pretend I finished and I have my markers in every single one of these. And you can see, scrolling down here, that the markers are ready to go. So now this is what the students would actually watch. So this part I fast forwarded to the please write in the following letters. And this is the part where you're going to have to trust them also. They do have an option to skip it or rewatch it. Okay. That's for the notes.
now,
They will not have that opportunity when it comes to answering a question, whether it be multiple choice or an open-ended question. Now, let me go back and show you guys.
as I was watching this video, the 3 words that came to my mind were the following.
So I'm going to go ahead and have my
active, and then the words outdoors. Rather than outside, I heard specifically say outdoors.
I'm going to go ahead and add.
You could have even come up with other words such as.
Pause it right here and ask an open-ended question. Please share with me the 3 words that you wrote. I'm going to click save.
As.
And then I'm going to click finish. Now, I'm going to go to that part right here.
As engineering.
And see, the students have to write down their 3 words right here. So let's just say they put mechanical, active, and I like the outdoors, just like I said in the video. And I would submit that, and that would be graded. So I would receive that. And you're asking, okay, now where would you receive that?
As engineering or
So that's the thing about this. You can assign this assignment to your class if you have Google Class, of course. But if you do not, and you're using Microsoft Teams or a website like a blog or whatever, then you can, first off, if you're going to use Microsoft Teams, this is what I would do. I would use a public link and assign this to the students. You could put this on, so you can still put this on Google Classroom. If you guys are using Edmodo, you can put it on Edmodo or Microsoft Teams to share with your students. And you can also put it on a website. So that means this is an embedded code. So I would actually show the YouTube video and the lesson ready to go for that. So that pretty much is how EdPuzzle is used. So please feel free to ask any questions. Email me at Christopher.Garcia@CBESD if you are part of the Chula Vista District. If you're not part of the Chula Vista District and you're watching this, then you can email me at cbgarcia@sandiego.edu. And yeah, I look forward to seeing how you guys come up with things, and of course here to support you any which way. All right, take care.